I have to say it all started with K-pop. But don't worry, it's actually not what you think. Hey guys, my name is Phoebe and today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about why I decided to start learning Korean. So I think it's kind of an interesting story because I find it to be really random, but back in September I was looking through a whole bunch of different tutorials on how to edit videos. So for those of you who don't know, I edit videos for a living, and every now and again I like to look at tutorials and see the new things that are going around or some things that are older that I just didn't know about, just to kind of continually brush up on my skills and get new ideas basically. So I was on this one channel called cinecom.net and they have really cool tutorials, and I was just auto playing through them, and I don't even remember what I clicked on initially, but at one point I was just watching them and I just kind of kept going and going and going, and then this video came up that says 5 transitions from Twice in Premiere Pro. I had no idea what that meant, but I was like, oh cool, I like interesting transitions, you know, because using like a flash transition or something all the time at like my job or whatever isn't always the most interesting, and also I didn't really know what it was going to be about, so I was just like, again, just auto playing through these things, and I thought, why not? I didn't stop it basically. So I had no idea what Twice was, or who they were rather. For all I knew, it could have been a TV show, it could have been a movie, because a lot of the previous tutorials that I was looking at were from movies and TV shows. So I was like, okay. And they open up with this really cool transition of this guy just straight chilling on across the street, and I think it was like a truck or something just passes by, and then you see another guy in a studio. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, that's what the transition's gonna be like. That's gonna be kind of interesting. So I started watching through, come to realize it was from a music video. And I was like, okay, all right, why not? I mean, music videos are cool. I love music videos. Anyone who knows me personally knows how much I love watching music videos and everything like that. So I'm looking through the tutorial and I'm like, this is actually kind of cool. Like, they're doing some pretty cool stuff just for a music video. And it was for the music video Likey by Twice. So after watching the tutorial, I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna watch the actual video now just to see it in action the way they did it. And I was watching this music video. First of all, I was like, whoa, this is really colorful. This is like a super colorful music video, which I love colorful things. That's probably one of the reasons why I still really enjoy watching cartoons now as an adult. But anyway, I was like, whoa, this is really, really colorful. And then I started seeing, you know, where they were and the kind of video effects that they were doing, and I was like, whoa, they put a lot of effort into this. This is really, really cool. And I really appreciated it visually and from like a professional standpoint and everything. I was like, wow, this is cool. So I wasn't even really listening to the song, if I'm gonna be honest. But I was like, all right. Then I listened to it again to watch some other stuff to kind of like wrap my head around it, because the music video to me was moving really fast. And then I noticed like, oh cool, they have synchronized dances to this. This is really interesting. Because you don't really see that much in, you know, American music videos, or, you know, I listen to a lot of British music as well, and you don't really see that very often. So it's like, oh, this is fun. This kind of reminds me of, you know, back in the day in the 90s when you'd have like the guy groups and the girl groups and Spice Girls and all that other stuff. They would have like at least one song that had a dance to it. So I was like, oh, this is fun. And of course I couldn't really understand anything except for the part where they were saying likey, because I think that's like, might be the only part in English, if I'm not mistaken. And as I'm watching it, I was like, okay, this isn't terrible. I wonder if they do this kind of thing for other music videos as well. So I started clicking through, and again, music videos, a whole bunch of effects on it, editing, colorful, you know, dances to all of these things. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what hole did I just drop into in this, like, in the internet? Like, what the heck? But I didn't hate it. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. So then finally I was starting to actually listen to like what they were saying and everything. Obviously, all the parts that were not in English, did not understand. But I thought it sounded really cool. Like, there was something about the language that I was like, I really gravitate towards the way this sounds right now. And I don't know why. So at some point, I've watched multiple Twice music videos, and I'm not gonna lie, I could not tell any of these girls apart, really, except for one. Oh, another thing that shocked me was the fact that there were so many people in this group. Okay, there was 9. There were 9 girls, right? Am I losing my mind? 3, 6, 9, yeah. And the music video was moving so fast, and there were so many costume changes in so many of these videos, I could not tell these girls apart, which I know sounds awful. Except for one. There was one girl, her name is Nyan, and I was like, I noticed her first because of her teeth. They were kind of like, not bucky, but they have different levels, kind of like my teeth do, versus like straight across. So I was like, okay, I noticed her, because weirdly enough I noticed teeth, I don't know why. And she was the one that I could pick out. I was like, okay, that's the same girl apparently, and then the other ones anyway. So I was like shocked. So finally, I'm going through these videos and I get to, who do I get to? I don't even know. Was I watching like an interview or something? At this point, it gets kind of fuzzy in my brain as to what comes next. But at one point, I think I was either listening to an interview or I went and stumbled onto another group. So this is a boy group called Got7, and I stumbled onto their stuff and I started listening to them speaking. Like, first of all, I could understand the guys more clearly in terms of like being able to distinguish words. Even though I didn't understand like or comprehend what they were saying, like I could distinguish different words. But again, I was like, I really am digging the way this language sounds. So I want to say it was the same day. I started looking up like how to learn Korean or how people learned Korean, or I think that was pretty much it actually, just like how they learned Korean. And so I stumbled across a couple of channels and a couple of videos, and they were talking about, oh, I either went to school for it, or like in the States, or I went over to Korea, I went to like a language college kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm not about to do that right now. And I stumbled across this channel called Jolly, and one of the guys is teaching his best friend how to speak Korean because he knows how to speak Korean fluently. And it was the most hysterical video I have ever seen. And then I noticed that it was like a series of these videos, and I was like, oh my goodness gracious, I have to watch these. Like I just have to. And so I'm watching these videos and I'm cracking up. And then again, because I don't remember all the videos individually, but a few of these videos were mentioning this, like these textbooks and stuff called Talk to Me in Korean. So I'm like, all right, let me just look that up. And so I looked it up, I was like, okay, cool. Oh, they have like, you know, free audio podcast thingies. So I listened to a couple and I was like, yes, I like this. I like the way this sounds. I'm gonna learn Korean. I just decided to learn Korean on like basically within 24 hours of me starting from watching Premiere Pro tutorials randomly one day in September and deciding that I'm gonna study a whole language that I've never, to my understanding, heard before, which asterisk I'll get to in a second, because that's technically not true, to finding these podcast things, ordering books, and yeah, here I am starting to learn Korean, and decided to make a video series of my own on my process of learning this really cool, to me, language. And the fact that I was like, this is really random, And that just goes with my personality because I do a lot of random things and it just makes life so fun. So I was like, why the heck not? Okay, so to the asterisk that I mentioned earlier. So in my head, I thought I've never heard Korean before. But apparently I had in 2 occasions distinctly. One of them was a song Gangnam Style or something like that. I don't even know the word. I haven't even looked it up since then. But obviously I heard that became really popular at some point. I don't even remember when, in the States. And I was like, this song is so dumb. I didn't really, but well, maybe it wasn't even so much the song, but it was like the dance. I was like, what is this? And the music video was weird. And I don't even remember that, but I think I don't even know where I was at in life at that point when I listened to that song. But that was one instance that I actually heard Korean, but I didn't know that it was Korean. Another instance is, like I mentioned way earlier, I do enjoy watching cartoons, and there is this one cartoon which I'm sure many people have heard of, or maybe not, I don't know, called Adventure Time. So there is this character called Lady Rainicorn, and apparently she speaks Korean. I did not know that. I just knew it was an Oriental language. In my head, I just defaulted to Japanese when I first heard it. I didn't question it. I was like, oh, okay, that's probably what it is. But I was watching it probably in October at some point, and this is me after a couple, maybe 2 weeks or so of like me trying to learn Korean and diligently like studying and stuff. I'm watching this randomly after I got home from work just to decompress. And there's an episode where Lady Rainicorn comes in and she's in most of the episode, and I'm listening to this and I'm like, wait, hold on. Why does this sound so familiar the way this sounds? Which makes no sense. You know, in my head, this wasn't making any sense.
고마워. 나도 재밌었어. What?
And then I realized, well, duh, hello, she's speaking Korean. And then I looked it up just to double check because I thought I was going crazy. And yeah, she was speaking Korean. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And I always thought she sounded really cute, like the character. I just didn't know what she was speaking. But anyway, here we are now. I hope you enjoyed this. I know this was really random, and I just thought it was kind of an interesting story for me because since, you know, deciding to learn Korean, I've been watching a lot of videos on how people have been studying Korean on their own as well, and how they got interested in it. It always kind of comes up, and many people say either Korean music or Korean dramas, which I only started watching afterwards so I can hear it in sentences because I don't know any Korean people in, you know, my life right now. And so that being said, I don't have anyone to talk to, so I can't listen to it just naturally speaking. So I'm like, all right, I'll just watch a lot of TV and YouTube videos, music videos, all this other stuff. That was my shoe. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the rest of this series that I'm making, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are learning Korean as well, please let me know what got you interested in it, because I'm really curious, especially if you're kind of like me and you never really knew anyone growing up, or, you know, in your life right now that actually speak it, or maybe it took a while. Anyway, you know what I mean. I will see you guys in my next video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!